So it has been 2.5 months and 6,300 miles later, and I'm gonna give you my 2.5 month review on the vehicle. I'm gonna start off, this is gonna be the likes video. There's a lot of likes, and we've already driven this car cross country. I mean, over 6,000 miles in 2 months. Yeah, we've cleared from here to Nevada, the southern route, the back. We did 12 states. A lot of fun, but like I said, you really learn about a car when you're living in it for 12 days straight. And first topic I want to bring up is the power. I mean, it still has not gotten old to me. I still love the power. We got the all-wheel drive, it's the long range, dual motors, and that instant torque is still just blows your mind. Blistering fast, almost makes you dizzy when you take off. Just so much torque in this vehicle. Now, speaking of a trip, when we were on the trip, the space that this vehicle has is incredible. Just blows you away how much. It's a little tiny car, but it's got so many openings. So the Frunk is great. There are some negatives about the Frunk, which I never even thought about thinking of, but I'll save that for my dislike video. But having the Frunk is great. 3 kids in the back. The kids appreciated not having a drive shaft. Not having a drive shaft means there's no hump in the center. So you have all that extra space in the center for the center seat, so your legs aren't like spread open. It's just nice and flat. And then not having a gas tank means we have tons of storage in that gas tank area. So that is great. Filled that up. And then the trunk is just massive. I mean, if anybody's seen these trunks, you know. I mean, there's a bunch of great reviews out there that tell you how large the actual trunk space is on this vehicle. Moving on, we went to a lot of desert states. I mean, upwards of 102 degrees. Now, I do have my windows tinted, all of them, including my front has a 35% tint on it, which honestly you don't really notice during the day or the night, so it works out great. But when the sun's out, you are not just getting cooked. I mean, I could touch the dash and it's not even hot. It's great. And when we're out in the desert, let me tell you what, this car has incredible air conditioning. It kept us cool at all times, especially, I mean, it gets warm. I mean, this is a glass roof. It is glass, but you don't really feel the heat up there. It was mostly just the windshield blaring in, so getting that tinted worked out great. But this AC kept up. It didn't matter how hot it got. It kept us nice and cool. It was wonderful, very comfortable. Now, speaking of the glass, when we got out to the mountains, Sedona, you know, all those other places, everybody appreciated the viewing area. I mean, technically it was like a 360 view all around you. No matter which way you looked, you could see the mountains and the cliffs. It's great. So having all the glass is awesome. Now the cabin, you know, 80, 90 miles an hour on an interstate, and the cabin is so quiet. It is just, you can have like a normal conversation, just sit there talking back and forth, and you know, you're not hearing a lot of road noise. So that's great. I don't know what the previous year sounded like. I don't know if the dual pane glass actually made that big of a difference. I don't know, but I just know as far as this vehicle compared to other vehicles that I've had traveling, much quieter. Also, love the screen size. Pretty cool stopping to charge and being able to watch a video, or the kids love playing the games. But yeah, there are some downfalls of this, and like I said, I'll save that for my dislike video, so that's coming too. But anyways, love the screen size. I love everything that it picks up, like all the cameras. Autopilot has been a giant letdown for me, but it's still great. I mean, it still helped out big time, especially when you get a little fatigued and you turn on the autopilot, and I don't have the full self-driving, but just the basic autopilot just really helps out. So that part's really nice. I wouldn't want to do a long trip without it ever again. I'll just put it that way. Especially when you get a little tired and or you're going through stressful traffic or whatnot, and you start to white knuckle and you just doop doop. Next thing you know, you're just sitting back. It's all peaceful. The car's doing everything, stopping, going, especially in traffic. Traffic jams are awesome with autopilot. It keeps you in your lane and it just stays in between. Using this little knob right here, you can adjust how many car lengths you want to stay behind them, and it does great. Also great, the mobile app. Mobile app helped us out a lot, just for the simple fact of, before you even get to your car, so say if you're up in your hotel, you can go ahead and turn on that AC and get it down to your temperature pretty fast, instead of coming out here into the sweltering heat of the desert and being cooked for a while. Yeah, the mobile app's great. You just turn it on and you're good to go. And it works. It works really fast. Speaking of working really fast, I had some issues. My charging port door stayed open and would open and close. It would do cycles, and it really wasn't flush since I bought it. Never owning an electric car, I didn't think anything of it. I just figured, hey, that's how it was. And then my rear door was kind of hard to close. Not like you couldn't shut it, but it took a little bit more force. Well, I got on my mobile app and scheduled a Tesla service. Tesla came out within 3 days. Yeah, I think it was 3 days. Tesla came out, and I didn't have to drop it off or anything. They came directly to my house. They pulled in. The guy got out, heard my complaints. I showed him. Within 15 minutes, he replaced my entire door. And they replaced, not replaced, but he did adjust my back door. And 0 issues altogether. All right, now let's continue this video. So now that I'm thinking about it, I like the GPS on this. It's got a Google Maps base, but it's whatever platform Tesla wants to make. I don't know how you even describe that, but it's got some goods, got some bads. I mean, I love it because it routes you almost identical to what Google Maps does, minus depending on what supercharging station you need to go to, that kind of affects how it routes you. But for the most part, it's same as Google Maps. It gives you live updates as long as you pay for the premium connectivity. And one thing I don't like is if it sees traffic, for Google Maps to be like, hey, there's a traffic slowdown ahead, would you like to take this? Tesla just automatically routes you. So when you think you're going to be staying on this one road, you got it in your head, and it takes you off, you get kind of angry and you're like, well, what's going on? And then you start to realize that, oh, and you look over at the highway and it's completely stopped. I wish they would just give a little warning. Hey, we're rerouting you because of traffic. You know, that'd be great. Because like I said, there's a couple times where you're just sitting there, you're cussing at the car, you're like, why'd you have me get off the highway? Or why did I listen? And then you look over and you're like, oh, I'm glad I listened. So that's kind of cool. This sound system tops most sound systems factory out of a car. I mean, so crystal clear. You can hear all your high, mids, and lows. Plenty of bass. Not so great as far as how it sounds when you stream from, like, say, like Amazon. But if you do like a direct MP3 from your phone, sounds great. So it's like hit or miss. You know, I use Amazon, so when my Amazon Music, like I said, doesn't sound as great. But Pandora sounds great, so that's what's kind of weird. We can play the same song on either or, and it's 2 different sounds. So something, I guess. Maybe it's just the Amazon app. Maybe they got like a settings in there. I don't know. I've never messed around with it, but it sounds the same on our other 2 vehicles, just not with the Tesla. Now I love how accurate this is. When we were traveling, really ran into no issues where we're like, oh, it said it was going to make it at 18%, and we made it within like 16, 18 to 20%, sometimes even arrive with higher. So it's within like 2% in my opinion, and that's just what it is. It's only my opinion of how accurate it is when it tells you it's going to arrive. So that's kind of cool. Made it to Flagstaff, Arizona, and did a car wash. Now, it was one of those where it picks you up on the conveyor belt and takes you on, which is kind of cool. Never done that before. And the reason I bring this up is doing it in the Tesla was very different. So for one, I didn't know how to get my car into neutral. That's embarrassing. Had no clue how. We had to actually Google it. I talked to the guy, and he even stopped the machine so we can figure it out. But he even said every Tesla owner that comes here does not know how to put their vehicle into neutral. And it's actually really simple. So I put it in car wash mode thinking that was going to do it, but that just makes sure that folds in your mirrors, make sure you can't open up your windows, and your doors are locked, and your windshield wipers don't activate. So, you know, car wash mode takes care of all that, but you still got to put it in neutral. And it is simple. Once I make it up to the stop sign, I'll show you how to do it. Hopefully you can see. So anyways, whether you're in park or drive, all you do is just take your foot off the brake, put your foot back on the brake, and just lightly tap up. All the way down is to put it in drive. Slightly up will put you in neutral. That's a little tip if you're going to do a car wash where it puts you on a conveyor belt. I love these seats. These seats are incredibly comfortable. I mean, I got a lot of back problems, and sitting in these seats for as amount of time that we spent sitting in these seats, I had zero issues. I thought for sure I was going to need a chiropractor like there, back, and on the way, but no. So comfortable. They are so soft. Now there are some negatives. Maybe it's just because it's that vegan leather, but as far as the car seats in the back, I had to buy some extra seat protectors, which is also on this Anything Auto Reviews channel, of the install of those and how they work and how well they work. But get you a good set of those, because they really do. It leaves an indent of where the car seat is, and it doesn't go away. Like, I had it up there, and it was actually just, I took it away for like a week, and I had to like massage it out because there were still indents in the vegan leather of where the car seat was. But you install those car seat covers, and you won't have that problem. So that's all I'm really going to cover in this video. Again, there's a lot of great YouTubers out there that review these cars, tells you the ins and outs and everything. They know way more than I do about these cars, but I was just sharing my experience over the 4 or 5, however many thousand miles we did. And it's, like I said, it's great. Love the car. Very happy with it. So if you want to check out any more videos, you can check out my Anything Auto Travels. And you can check out my Anything Auto Reviews and Anything Auto Repairs. Thanks for watching. 2 things I forgot to comment on. Now, bringing up the AC system. This is something I remembered a little bit later. Alright, so bring up the AC system. Just go ahead and hit the number, double tap it, you pop up in a climate. Now, something I never seen in any other video, and something I didn't even know until we were on our trip, but this thing's pretty cool that these rear vents right here, it's not just that the air, the blower motor pushes it back and then it finally makes its way to the back like most other cars. This actually has a blower blowing the air out of the back. So come up in here and you hit rear, and now right here I tell you that the rear fans are off because there's no one sitting in the back seat. So if someone sits in the back seat, it'll turn on the air. I was hoping I was able to actually do it by hand, but I couldn't, so we could just turn them on. And I don't know, probably not in the video, but you can hear the difference in everywhere else. Yeah, it actually blows back here. I mean, I could feel it all the way back here blowing really hard, ice cold AC. So like I said, that's not something I've seen in the other video that I didn't even know about. So yeah, turn it back off. Nothing. Now, one amazing thing that I love is the one pedal driving. Love the regenerative braking. I got mine on acceleration's on standard, steering's on standard, and my stopping mode is hold, which is nice because like I said, when you come up to a red light or stop sign, you just let the car stop and it won't creep forward at all. Just be careful if you're going in between like a Tesla and a normal vehicle that don't crash. I mean, I've run into a couple situations where I've gotten into the Jeep and I've just got so used to this car, I've let off the gas and it doesn't slow down one bit. It just stays steady at the same speed. So you have to make sure you apply your brake or you're gonna crash. So yeah, going up and down the mountains was really cool because when your car is actually in motion, so say you put it in drive, there's a black line that leads all the way across. I'm guessing that's your battery / regenerative braking. I don't know what they consider that. I can't find it anywhere, but whenever you hit the accelerator, a black line will go across, and then when your regenerative braking comes on, it'll show green with how much power it's generating. So when we hit like a 6% grade for like 15 miles straight down, the car actually was charging the entire time, and actually we got the, say if it was 48, we actually got it to go up to 49, which is nothing really, but you know, it's just something cool. It's not something you normally see.